G'day Model A enthusiasts, and once again welcome to cloudy Australia. As I've said in a previous video, this is a 1930 Model A 4-door with a Model B engine in it. When I got the car, it had this secondary fuel shut-off valve in it. I assumed, well, it was because the other valve under the dashboard didn't cut the fuel supply off when it was sitting stationary. So yeah, just something I'm going to try, which I'd appreciate some comments if somebody's got any reason why I shouldn't do this. It's going to put a fuel cut-off solenoid on there so that the fuel supply turns off automatically when the engine stops. And I'll just put that down. But also, like I'm not real keen about having the fuel tank sitting above my knees, but that's how it is. So I was originally going to install the solenoid under the dashboard, just behind the cut-off valve that's under there. But I thought the solenoid might not like having the little bits of rust go through it, so I thought that might make it fail. So what I'm actually going to do, I'd prefer it to be upstream of the glass bowl, just in case I have an accident and the glass bowl gets broken. But I think it's quite impractical. I've looked at the tubing and everything. It's kind of a an old type split tubing, and it's got fittings welded or soldered to each end on that tube that's under the dashboard. So I'd have to make a new piece of tubing. But anyway, I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to instead put the solenoid here where this secondary shut-off valve is, and this tubing seems to be just standard quarter-inch tubing. So I'm going to put actually another paper disposable filter upstream of the solenoid and put the solenoid here, maybe put it in some sort of box to make it look a bit nicer. But if anybody could give me any advice in comments of why I shouldn't do this, I won't do it. But I've found a solenoid, a filter at Super Cheap Auto here in Australia, and they're designed for gravity feed systems. So I noticed that a lot of other solenoid filters for modern day cars have a small, only I think 5 or 10 micron filter, so they require some sort of pressure to force the fuel through the filter. So yeah, going to put the filter in, going to put the solenoid on. But what I'm also going to do is I got hold of this electronic cutoff that's normally used for LPG gas systems here in Australia. This thing, you supply it with 12 volts, and the negative of the coil is connected to the very left-hand terminal there, and it detects that the coil is actually firing and puts out voltage to energize the solenoid. So my intent is to possibly put a push button to override this device and make the solenoid energize to fill the carburetor if it's been shut down for a long time, and then have this device energize the solenoid whenever you crank the engine, and therefore supply fuel to the carburetor. So as that way, if I am in an accident or if the car stalls, the fuel is turned off, and also it will just turn off anyway because I'll supply this from the ignition as well. So and another thought that I had was also, instead of the supply having a constant the coil having a constant 12 volt supply to it, I was going to also supply that from this device, or from a relay off this device, so that if the car is stalled, or if I start it up and it conks out and I've wandered off somewhere, it will shut down the ignition, and therefore if the points happen to be closed, it won't cook the coil. So yeah, please let me know if I'm going about this wrong. I'll give it a crack anyway, and I'll let you know how it goes. Yeah, by the way, one other thing that I am trying as well, I got a neodymium magnet here on the bottom of the fuel bowl, so attracting the little bits of metal that come out of the tank. As you can see, there's sort of following the magnet around there. I don't know if you can see with my shaky hands, but anyway, yeah, so I'm going to give that a crack at see if that reduces some of the particles that escape from the rusty fuel tank. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. See ya.